Everyone, Once Bitten here with a battle report. So if you follow my channel, you know that the last game I played was the top table game of a very small one-day tournament, and going against this exact army that you see here at the top of the picture. Uh, this guy brings just a tough as nails Warriors of Chaos list. He's been doing extremely well at the local one-day tournaments as well as the last two GTs, or he always does well in tournaments, but the last two GTs he took best general. So the last time we played, I was able to squeeze out a victory, so that was nice. And quite frankly, neither one of us could find another person to play for variety, so we said that we would play each other again. I say it's a rematch of the last game because I think his list is exactly the same. Mine is a little bit different. So 3,000 points, Blood and Glory. We both randomly rolled for the cards they use at Brawler Bash, which give you additional objectives and additional benefits. So we both randomly rolled the same one, which allows you to go first, which means it's null and void and we have to roll for it. But I'll have a +1 on that. And you get 500 extra victory points if your highest point unit is over half points at the end of the game. So that would be my Halberdier unit. And his Chimeras are tied, and so he just chose one. So, and you get 1,000 victory points for breaking your opponent first, and 500 if you break your opponent second. This is, of course, a modified Blood and Glory. The game does not end when Fortitude is broken. So, review the list. Top right, he's got Unit of Dogs, Fast Cav with the banner with a level 2 Spellcaster. This one has, I want to say this one has Acquiescence. A couple Chariots, some Skull Crushers with the Flaming Banner. There's some dogs hiding behind the building. Another unit of Skull Crushers. This one has the Gleaming Pennant. Another unit of Fast Cav with another level 2. I know this one rolled up Cacophonic Choir. I don't know the other spell he had. More dogs, another Chariot. Then he has Battle Standard Bearer. And yeah, I think the BSB, I think he has a 2-up armor and then the 3-up ward re-rolling ones. So he's virtually unkillable. Another unit of Fast Cav. Behind the BSB, he's got a Chimera, a Demon Prince, and there's another Chimera hiding. So yes, he is hiding from my cannons turn 1, and that is understandable. So one thought that occurred to me here when I started deploying was that my Halberdiers are just worthless against his list. I have no chance of picking my combats because everything he has is faster than me, and most of it has really high movement. And if he can get Chimeras or Skull Crushers into my Halberdiers, I just give up points. So I decided just to put him in the building and let him sit there and then bring him out later in the game if I feel like it. So I put my Halberdiers, my Battle Standard Bearer with the Warrior Priest, and my level 4 all in the building. Now, the level 4, I'm bringing Lore of Fire. And Lore of Fire, I knew going against this list would do me no good whatsoever, and I'm okay with that because I think it synergizes well with my list against other kinds of builds. So on the far left, I've got a unit of Demigryphs. There's no banner there. I've already told you what's in the building. I've got 9 Inner Circle Knights, full command. I've got 3 characters. I'm sorry, I've got 2 characters. One is Carl Franz with the upgrade Galmaraz, and the other one is a Warrior Priest with the Crown of Command and the Dragon Helm. So he's got a 1-up armor save, and then he's stubborn. So his purpose is to keep that unit from breaking, and my my goal in life is to try to keep him alive. You've got a Hellblaster volley gun, a Master Engineer, a cannon, another unit of Demigryphs, and Celestial Hurricanum. The Hurricanum is kind of out of position, but when we deploy, my opponent has so many more drops than I did that what I was trying to do was mislead him a little bit. So I placed everything to the right of this picture first, and I'll get there in just a second. And I placed the Hurricanum where I did because it was close enough to get it where I needed it, but far enough away that I felt I was trying to influence my opponent to put stuff on the right-hand side. So there's that. And then I have Steam Tank Archers with a banner, handgunners, and a cannon. So yeah, it looks like that. We roll off. Oh no, we don't roll off. He vanguards. And then we show each other the cards, and that's when we realize that we both have the same card. He thought he was going to be able to go first, and so now we have to roll off. I have a +1 because he had so many more drops than I do, and I won it, which I was so grateful about. His army is so fast-moving, and it's Blood and Glory. He's already starting at the 15-inch line. So if he can start the 15-inch line and vanguard up and move first, I mean, it's just so tough. But I wanted the turn to go first. I was very happy about that. So we go to Empire turn 1. For the most part, things look as you can see him there. The big news is I decided just to go ahead and throw my general and his unit at these dogs. So we charged his fast cav first, and they fled where you can see them. They're behind the skull crushers. I don't remember what we did to cause. I think it doesn't matter. I think they fled through that building. One of them died to dangerous terrain. And now he has a level 2 in there, so I'm really hoping he doesn't rally and runs off the board. That would be wonderful. I redirected to his dogs. I kind of thought that he would run away with them, and I was just going to sit where I was, which is what I wanted to do, and he's stuck with his dogs. I'm okay with that, especially because his chariot is turned sideways and can't charge me, and skull crushers can come in, but with Karl Franz, I'm not too afraid of skull crushers. So there's that. Nothing really exciting happened in the movement phase. Magic phase, I don't even know if I'm bothering to cast spells. There's nothing that's going to do anything to him. So then during the shooting phase, really frustrated here. I used 10 handgunners and 10 archers shooting at this unit, and I kill 4. So I get him down to where he can't take a lookout sir roll. I take one of my cannons, because I don't have wonderful shots at other things. If I take a cannon and aim it at his level 2, let's just get this guy off the board. I hit him, I wound him. He has, I think, a 5 upward save, I think, and he fails it. And then I roll a single wound. Anything but a 1, and he dies. And I... Darn it. Darn it. Darn it. Everything else... Oh, let's see. The Hellblaster volley gun opens up on... I think they were dogs. They're right here. Could have been fast cav. I think it's probably dogs. And blew them out of the water. They had no other targets, so that was good enough. And really nothing else. Cannon-wise, I wasn't able to hit anything. And I think the steam tank actually misfired and took 3 wounds. So after combat, the dogs easily die here, and I reform into a formation that I've never seen anybody else use before outside of Bretonia. I think it just works beautifully. You know what? I think it should be called the One Spittin'. But basically, I take my Inner Circle Knights, I reform them 3 wide, so I can put my Warrior Priest who's stubborn in the 2nd rank middle and completely protect him. I put Karl Franz in the 2nd rank, and now if he wants to charge me, everybody's in my front, except for his fast cav on the left, and I don't care about them. And then, because nobody's touching Karl Franz, I can move him wherever I need to move him to do what I need him to do. So I just really, really like this. Now the downside, of course, is anybody that charges me has a chance of being steadfast. But I think if his Skull Crushers come in, he won't be steadfast after Karl Franz takes a swing at him. And yeah, so there's that. So we go to Warriors Chaos turn 1. If you look on the right, he just moves up as much as he can. He takes his 1 remaining fast cav. Oh, if I could have killed the guy, it would have been so nice to get him off the table. Moves him up from my demis on the right. He decides not to charge with his Skull Crushers. Instead, takes his unkillable BSB and charges that unit. I don't think that's a bad plan. That even Karl Franz has a really, really tough time against that guy. We'll get there later. Otherwise, he moves his Chimeras and his Demon Prince out as if he's not afraid. Which means now I'm gonna have a tough time targeting him, because my knight unit is in the way, so I have to put my cannonball past the knight unit, and so it might just bounce over the Demon Prince's head. Certainly with the cannon on the far right, probably with the steam tank, and less so, but still true to a certain degree, with this cannon here on the left. So there's all that going on. This is the right-hand side. His dogs charge my archers. I just stand and shoot, kill 1. If he wins an over, I won't be steadfast, I don't think. So I think I'm actually just out of the woods, 50% of the units out of the woods. So they're skirmishers, but they won't be steadfast. If he wins, I'm in trouble because he'll get my cannon really easily. But he only has 4 attacks, and I'm going to get 10 attacks. So I really think I should win that. Let's see. Oh, in other news, his level 2 with his fast cav that had fled tried to rally and failed and ran off the board. That was very, very nice. So his unkillable BSB comes in. Here's the dilemma I have. He pops the potion of foolhardiness, so he's going to have 5 attacks this first turn. Regardless, he has 4 attacks with a great weapon, so he's strength 7. So I'll get to go first. So if I accept with Karl Franz, the dilemma is I actually have a lower weapon skill than he does. He is a hero level character. I'm using Karl Franz, who is the best person the Empire can field. and I have a lower weapon skill than this hero level character. So Carl's hitting on 4, so I should hit twice. They should automatically wound, go past his armor, and then I need him to roll a 2. Or if he rolls a 1, I need him to roll a 1 or 2 in the reroll. And I probably need him to do that twice in order to kill him. Meanwhile, he gets 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, giving me a 6 up armor and a 4 up ward. I think the BSB wins that. So it's a real dilemma what to do there. Here on the far left is Fast Cav chaffing up my demigryphs. Overall, I'm not concerned. I think a unit of 4 demigryphs can take a... as long as I can beat that Fast Cav and then reform to face the chariot, I'm not too awful worried about it. This is the guy that I should have killed on the right, who's at the middle of the table. The angle's weird here, but he's hiding behind the building. During the magic phase, he casts Purple Sun. I got really lucky here. Well, I mean, he got the spell off, so I wasn't lucky in that regard. But when he rolled the distance on the artillery die, he only rolled a 4, so it only traveled 12 inches. So it popped through my knight's unit and stopped. If it had kept on going, it could have taken out my Hellblaster volley gun and my cannon. It would have been. I think they auto-fail it, and that was really, really scary. But it stopped there. It killed a bunch of knights. And actually, and I was joking about this, but trying to be positive about, I don't love losing half my knight unit because I failed almost all of my initiative tests. I swear, every time Purple Sun comes through this knight unit, I fail my initiative tests. But what it does is it makes it easier for my cannons to land a cannonball in front of his Demon Prince. So that's kind of nice. Also, it'll scatter on my turn. I would love for it to go through those not to go through, but to land right in front of those skull crushers, because you can't move over a vortex. So there are some potentially positive things that could happen from that. Over here on the right, I got pretty lucky. He whiffed his attack with four dogs. He should have hit twice, should have wounded once, and that's exactly what happened to him. I did 10 attack. Anyway, I killed a couple dogs. I won combat. He broke. And then what was fantastic was on my roll to get him, I rolled like an 11 or 12, which took me all the way up there, which is awesome because that's his turn. So on my turn, I can use these guys to chaff up his skull crushers and both of his chariots. Very, very happy about that. We go to combat here. I decided because he had the potion of foolhardiness, I didn't want to risk Karl Franz, and so I just fed him a champion. Champion had a 5-up ward. He ended up taking exactly 2 wounds. So, yeah, but regardless, he died. So we're stuck there in combat. I actually failed. I'm stubborn on a 10, and I failed it. But we are just barely within range of that building. That's another awesome advantage of building. My wizard has 360 line of sight to cast spells. My BSB has an extended range because he gets 12 inches from every point of the building. I like having buildings in my deployment zone. Empire turn 2. Really not a whole lot. If you look in the middle, not a whole lot going on. My halberdiers, they're going to hang out in the building. My demigryphs are just going to hang out where they are now. I don't feel the need to rush them up anywhere. I was tempted to charge the fast cav, but I didn't want to move closer to his 2 chariots and his skull crushers over on the right-hand side because that would have defeated the purpose of trying to slow them down. So I'm just going to hope that my shooting takes care of some stuff. My Hellblaster volley gun is going to have a chance to open up on his skull crushers here in the middle. So I think I'm actually feeling pretty confident about things. I show my rear to these guys because I want to be facing that one remaining fast cav guy. I'd rather just kill him through shooting than than try to charge him with the demis. Here's the left. I go ahead and charge my demis on the left into the fast cav. Happy enough with that. I moved my archer attachment where you see him here. I don't really know what I was thinking because they don't do any good. If the skull crushers charge them, then he's going to beat them and overrun into the demis, so it doesn't do me any good. And I couldn't really stop the demis from charging. If the skull crushers charge them and I flee, they run through my lines. I have to take a bunch of panic tests, but I'm leadership 10 rerollable. Or if not leadership 10 because 18 inches doesn't reach back that far, but I at least have a reroll, so I might be okay. So then we go to shooting. We go to the magic phase. Nothing happens. At some point, I took off his charm shield. I think he took off his own charm shield through a miscast. If you look at the chariot in the top left, I shot a cannon on my last turn and hit it and wounded it and did a single wound because that's my theme of the game. This time, I hit his Demon Prince. I think I hit him with one cannon and he ward saved it, and I hit him with another cannon And I either hit him with one and killed him, or I hit him with one and did one wound, and hit him with the other one and finally killed him. Anyway, Demon Prince is dead. Huge, huge swing of the game. Huge swing in the game right there. Over on the left, Demis beat the fast calf turn to face the inevitable charge by that chariot. The Marauders you see in the top left corner are not there. Those are dead models. And the challenge with the BSB and Karl Franz is a whiff. Karl is... I have 4 attacks, and I do 1 hit, and he ward saves it. And he has 4 attacks, and he can't get past my ward save. But I'm really nervous about that. I think his BSB has the advantage. And this didn't show up because we didn't do it till too late, but the Purple Sun template scattered towards my lines, which is awful. It's the exact opposite of what I need. I need to go the other way. In other news, so I got the Flaming Sword on the... I cast that on my Hellblaster volley gun. And it shot with the Master Engineer at his Skull Crushers. And I did a wound. I was so frustrated with their poor performance. So this is actually the start of Warriors of Chaos turn 2. His Skull Crushers charge my 5-man archer detachment, and I flee. And I run through everything. So everything here has to take a panic test. My cannon fails it, so it can't shoot next turn. And my Master Engineer runs off the board. And my detachment, of course, runs off the board. So the Skull Crushers just take an easy leadership test and redirect to my Demigryphs, and they fail their charge. Otherwise, it looks like that. He took 1 chariot and charged my archers in the top right. The good news about that is that if he doesn't kill them all, he'll certainly break them, and then he'll overrun. If he chooses to overrun, he'll have to go through the woods, and you never know, he might fail his dangerous terrain. Using his lone remaining fast cav unit in front of my Demigryphs, that's the one that my 10 archers, or my 9 remaining archers shot at and could not kill. So he's chaffing up my Demigryphs. I don't love that. In big news on the left, yeah, there's that, darn it. So one Chimera joins in the combat with my Knights, the other one joins in the combat with my Demis. That might have been a mistake when I reformed the Demis. There might have been a way to reform them so that the Chimera couldn't see me. But I wasn't thinking about it. I just assumed he couldn't see me, and I was just being obviously lazy about it. Because a combined charge there is not good for the Demigryphs. His chariot kills a bunch of archers. He decides to overrun to get closer to my lines, fails his dangerous terrain, and takes a bunch of wounds and dies. I don't know why I find that so funny. That's awesome. And the other chariot over there died too. I think it died to shooting. I don't know what kind, cannons or handgunners or whatever. In combat over here, oh, this is getting scary. So I'll start at the left. The Demigryphs rocked. He came in with impact hits on his chariot, his Chimera that rolls a 3 for his D3 for extra attacks, and when everything's said and done, he only did 4 wounds to me. Meanwhile, I did 3 wounds to the chariot and killed it. I was steadfast on a 10 rerollable, easily passed it, easily reformed, slid over. I think I have a good chance of winning that combat now. Very happy about that. The Chimera comes in and kills, I believe, 2 Knights, which wasn't wonderful, wasn't awful, whatever. The bad news is Karl Franz cannot put a wound through on his BSB. Again, I have 4 attacks. I'm hitting on 4s. I only do 1, and it just ward saves it. He does his 4 attacks on me, hits all 4. He's wounding on 2s. He wounds all 4. I've got a 6-up armor save and a 4-up ward save, and at the end of the day, he does 2 wounds to Karl Franz. Karl Franz is sitting on 1 wound left. The only good news is that I always get to swing first. But even if I sneak past his ward, I do D3 wounds. I've got to roll a 3, or else, I just can't even fathom getting 2 wounds past his ward save. Karl Franz could die. Actually, at this point, what I was telling myself is, you know what? If he dies, he dies. I mean, the game, my list doesn't revolve around Karl Franz. He's a big help to it. He's actually kind of a crutch. But I think I could lose him and life goes on, especially if I lose him on my opponent's turn, so that on my turn, if he breaks the unit and his guys are free of combat, I can shoot at him and stuff like that. I would love to shoot that Hellblaster volley gun at his battle standard bearer. Empire turn 3. Everything looks as you can see it. You notice, by the way, that my steam tank, I'm really just kind of holding him back, using him as a cannon instead of rushing him forward. because I kind of like where he is. Demigriffs charge that lone fast cav because nothing else is going to kill it. The guy has survived. He survived a million arrows being shot at him. Um, Now the problem is the Demigriffs are going to win combat. I'm going to reform. I'm going to shoot the Hellblaster volley gun at this unit of Skull Crushers. He's taken 2 wounds already. I need to get that unit whittled down in a bad way because I'm going to get 2 Skull Crusher units charging my Demigriffs, and I need them weakened. So I'm going to shoot a cannon at one of them and a Hellblaster at the other one, and my Steam Tank might even shoot a cannon at one of them. I mean, I've got, but oh my gosh, I've got to get this guy's whittled down. So up here after combat, yeah, the Demigriffs, they took some wounds, but they did a bunch of wounds back. I think I had the Chimera down to 1 wound remaining before he attacked, and then of course he did 4 wounds to me, 3 or 4 wounds, whatever. I did 3 wounds to him. I won by musician, broke him, couldn't run him down, but he's like on leadership 4, I think, so his chance of staying alive is pretty slim. The Chimera kills the rest of my inner circle knights, but look at that. Karl Franz goes first. This time he does 2 wounds, just crazy. And so my opponent goes to roll his ward saves, and he rolls a 2. So the wound goes, he can't reroll that one, so it goes through, and I roll a d3 and roll a 3 and kill his battle standard bearer. Absolutely huge. Huge. Now he doesn't have rerolls. He doesn't have this, his unkillable character got killed. Karl Franz is alive with 1 wound remaining, and I reformed to put Karl Franz in contact with that Chimera, because I think I'll kill that Chimera before he'll even swing. Fast Cav easily dies. Look what my shooting did. The Hellblaster volley gun did 0 wounds to the Skull Crushers. I've had 2 chances to shoot those Skull Crushers, once with the Master Engineer, once without them, and I've done a total of 2 wounds. The other unit of Skull Crushers, I've shot at least 1 cannon, if not 2 cannons at them, and I did, I think, a wound. I think I hit him and only did a wound to him. So that's going to cost me the Demigriff Knights. 2 units of Skull Crushers charging them on Warriors Chaos turn 3. Here on the right, this chariot, that's right. I said earlier that I think he died. He hadn't died. The handgunner's been shooting at him, and he's taken a single wound. So he charges them. I was really hoping he'd fail dangerous terrain in the forest, but that's probably too much to hope for. And I'm not going to be steadfast. There's that. That is not how you want to play Demigriffs, for those of you interested. His Chimera does not rally after combat. Yeah, he instead of pursuing the handgunners, I think he assumed they would just run off the board, so he reformed so that he could face my cannon. I don't think that's a bad idea. I rolled a 3, so my guys stay alive. They'll be rallying on a 7, and I have the smallest of chances to kill this thing with a cannon before it kills me on its next turn. After combat, the Demigriffs are dead. Can't blame them for that. But yeah, I think I did 1 wound to the Skull Crushers on the left, but that at least got a model down. I don't think I did any to the one on the right. The only good news is now it's my turn next. So if I can generate steam points, and I think my Steam Tank is down to 6 wounds, so it's dicey. The Steam Tank is going to plow into those Skull Crushers, and I'm going to take my Hurricanum charge into their flank, because I think I can do enough wounds to them that I'm going to win combat. And if they break, the cannon can't get those points, but the Hurricanum can. So that's what we're hoping for there. Over here on the left, Karl Franz kills the last Chimera, reforms to face the Skull Crushers, and we go to Empire turn 4. So my plan with the Steam Tank worked. Matter of fact, I misfired. It took 3 wounds and gained 3 steam points. So he has 6 steam points, but he's down to like 3 wounds remaining, maybe 4 wounds, somewhere around there. Hurricane goes in the flank. I need to do a lot of wounds before my opponent gets his attacks. Karl Franz charges out of his 2-character unit into the rear of those Skull Crushers and fails the charge. I take my Warrior Priest around the building. He's got his level 1 back there. I'm trying to just kind of flush him out to where I can at least cast spells at him. I don't know why I'm bothering, though. He's got a 2-up ward versus Flaming, but he only has 1 wound left. I'd kind of like to get it. I'm going to be able to shoot my Hellblaster volley gun at those Skull Crushers right in front of me. They are right in front of my Hellblaster volley gun, right there. This will be my 3rd turn shooting at him. Let's see how many wounds I can do. Demigriffs over here tried to charge his level 2. That would have been awesome. They needed 11, and they rolled a 10. That would have been nice. And Yeah, this is Carl Franz failing his charge. There's that charge. I'm a little. I think it's a good plan. I'm a little nervous about it. And my handgunners rallied, so I thought that was kind of cool. So my cannon goes to shoot at his just to try to save himself from that chariot, and he miscasts and blows up. My other chariot goes to shoot, and he miscasts and blows up. My Hellblaster volley gun shoots at the Skull Crushers, and I do 2 wounds. I swear. this, this was not a good shooting phase for the Empire. And no magic phase is a good magic phase. After combat, this was heartbreaking. I plow into these guys. I do somewhere between 3 and 5 wounds. I don't know how many. I know that the Hurricanum didn't wound anything on its impact hits. On the Steam Tank, the D6, I rolled a 1. But still, I did some wounds to him. He actually was only able to do 1 wound to my Hurricanum and no wounds to my Steam Tank, so I won combat, so he's no longer frenzied, which is fantastic. I won the combat he was on a 5, so I won it by 3. He has no reroll nearby. He needs a 5, and he sticks it. Just bites. That's just awful. That's just awful. Yeah, that's not ideal. Warriors Chaos turn 4. He's now punishing me for my mistakes. The chariot that I couldn't kill charges into the handgunners. The other Skull Crushers charge in the flank of the Hurricanum. Yeah, goodbye handgunners. Goodbye Hurricanum. I don't know what this is showing. Oh, his Chimera runs off the table, and his level 2 just gets out of line of sight. After combat, yeah, I mean the Hurricanum didn't stand a chance. Killed it. I want to say now I'm looking at that die next to my Steam Tank. I think my Steam Tank's still at 5 points. He's got 5 wounds left. So, yeah, could have been worse, I guess. Empire turn 5. I bring the Halberdiers out of the building. Everybody's with the Warrior Priest BSB are with them. The level 4 just goes behind the building, so he can't target me with his mage. Hey, the good news is I can take my Hellblaster volley gun and I can shoot at his Skull Crushers for the 4th turn in a row. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back to that picture. That's the 4th turn in a row that I've shot at those guys. I do 0 wounds. I don't know what to say. The Hellblaster volley gun did not show up. It did not show up. It got broken in transit or something. Warriors Chaos turn 5. My opponent doesn't have a whole lot left. His chariot that killed my handgunners just kind of moves towards the center of the board. He knows that Carl Franz has 1 wound left. He's using his magic phase to cast this spell that does D6 strength 3 hits, just hoping to punk him. He's hoping to get a charge with that chariot on Carl Franz. He's got a real good chance of doing it because if Carl charges the Skull Crushers and wins, which I think he will, he'll either kill him or he's going to die from the Skull Crushers. Then he overruns. And I didn't realize this at the time, but we figured out later that in order to get out of line of sight of his chariot, I'm going to need to roll an 11 or 12. If I overrun anything less than that, his chariot's going to be able to see me and can go straight ahead, wheel past his Skull Crushers, and charge Carl Franz. And he's got a really good chance of getting 1 wound off of him. Yeah, so it looks like that. Steam Tank is down to 3 wounds remaining. So we go to Empire turn 6. 3 wounds remaining. I need to remember my new rule of thumb is you always go for 4 steam points until you get down to 3 wounds, and then you switch to 3 steam points. Because I went for 4, I misfired, I rolled a 3 on the D3, which means I took D3 wounds. Of course, I rolled a 3 on that, and I died. At least he didn't kill me. Carl Franz charges into the Skull Crushers. The Demigryphs and the Warrior Priest were able to flush his level 2 out, so he's out in the open. So now I can cast some magic spells at him, and I don't care if he has a 2-up. If I do enough hits to him, he might fail one of them. He's just out of range with the Hellblaster volley gun, but hey, why should he worry about them? But hey, the Hellblaster can shoot 1 more time at a different unit of Skull Crushers. And look at that. Now they decide to do some damage. I get him down to he has a single wound remaining. He passes his panic test because he's not frenzied anymore. A single wound. That thing is just trying to tick me off because now I can't complain about doing what he did 5 wounds. I can't complain about that. But really, he couldn't do 6. Whatever. Yeah, Call Franz just kills the other two Skull Crushers, overruns. I roll a 12. And so now his Chariot can't see me. He can't countercharge. We go to Warrior's Cast turn 6. He really has nothing to do except move his Spellcaster up to try to punk Karl Franz with his D6 Strength 3 hits, which he doesn't do. The game ends like that. So this was, like the last game, I won it. Unlike the last game, this game never felt like it was in doubt. The only time it was dicey, I felt, was when the BSB I thought was going to kill Karl Franz. And even then, I didn't necessarily feel like that would have been game over. It certainly would have been close, a lot closer. I mean, he might have won, but all I'm really saying is it didn't feel like I was down and out, whereas in the last game I felt that I was. Ended up being just a huge victory. I don't know if I got max points, but probably got 4,300 points out of a possible 5,000. And my opponent, I think, got about 1,600, 1,700, something like that. So certainly a confidence booster going into Brawler Bash. I think my list has a lot of tools, which is why I like Empire, and I've gotten so much practice against this Warriors list that I think it'll be a list we'll see a lot at the tournament, and I'm not necessarily worried about it, which is a nice feeling to have. Anyway, that's the game. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has several functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like the video, you can leave a comment, you can favorite the video. I want you to know that I appreciate it when you do things like that. It feels much more interactive than simply me talking to a screen. So if you're willing to do so, please like, comment, and favorite the videos. Subscribe to the channel if you want, and you certainly are welcome to share this video on your blog or other websites if you are so inclined. Again, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.